with posturing little soldiers.
It's easy to crip to me.
How important is the money?
I don't have a problem. Is it not important?
You'd be a crip whether there was the money or not.
Yeah, that's right. Y'all think cripping got to do with money?
It ain't got nothing to do with money. That's protecting your homeboys. Watching out for one another. Some y'all don't do, y'all don't watch out for. You wouldn't die for him, would you? You saying that now on TV, but you wouldn't die for him for real. I'd die for my homeboy.
Would you die?
Yeah, I'd die for my homeboy.
If somebody came up to you tomorrow, grabbed you and said, I got a job, good pay for you, would that make a difference?
Come on, let's go now.
It ain't gonna stop me from cripping.
But you'd take the job too, wouldn't you?
Huh?
You'd take the job too?
I'm a crip at work.
Youth gangs, primarily black and Hispanic, are setting records this year. More than 160 gang-related killings in the Los Angeles area alone.
Some, like Joker, survive attacks, though shot 5 times and paralyzed for life. Gang members say some of it remains traditional turf warfare.
It's bad. It's real bad. People dying over nothing, man. Over a neighborhood. You know, over something that they really don't own.
Okay. Get your hands up top of your head there, little man. Okay. All right, you're just a little man, but you gotta do it.
Hey, what you guys doing all of this for?
We're checking you out, man.
Your dog, man.
It's a nice jacket you got over there, buddy.
Your dog been biting people?
What
What do they call you, young man? What do they call you?
Chip.
Said he's gonna be, what said he's gonna be, said he's gonna be, shorty's gonna be a thug.
Eric Maestro Decatur, also known as Lil Chipmonk, was born on July 27, 1982 in Los Angeles, California, to his mother, Glenda London, and his father, Arthur Decatur. He was one of 7 siblings, and his home life was described as unstable and tumultuous to say the least. Early on, his father was in and out of the home, but eventually he disappeared for good. He grew up in the west side of South Central on 83rd Street, in an area known as the Shady 80s, because it was well known for its crime and gang warfare. It was different from other hoods on the west side, who had a more manicured and middle-class type of look, but where Chipmonk came up at was known for its poverty, filled with rundown and dilapidated buildings. Everything negative that a child should never have to witness coming up, Chipmonk had front row seats and seen it all. His mom did the best that she could raising her kids in the rough area, and she was one of the few white residents who lived there. Chipmonk attended Manchester Elementary School, where he was known for his outgoing personality, being good with numbers and creativity. He was even a part of the school's gifted program due to his high level of intelligence. And when he wasn't at school or at home, you could catch him playing basketball at the courts located on 88th and Hoover. But not having his dad around left a void in Chipmonk's life, and it made him feel lost. Unfortunately, he would seek out a father figure in the same place that so many other young inner city kids turn to, the streets. And by the age of 11, he joined the 8-Trey Hoover Crips, who had a reputation for being one of the most ruthless and infamous gangs in all of LA. After being established in the 1960s, they initially called themselves the Hoover Groovers. But as the Crips gang made its rise throughout the 70s, spreading throughout Los Angeles, they ultimately made an alliance and became the Hoover Crips. Despite his young age, Chipmonk repped his gang to the fullest, pushing the line just as hard as any OG Hoover. Despite his small stature, Chipmonk loved to fight and would go at it with people much larger and older than he was. He was known for riding his bike up and down Figueroa and Hoover, pressing anybody that looked unfamiliar and wasn't from the neighborhood. Internet personality Bosco 100 of the Queen Street Bloods even recalled running into Chipmonk when they were kids, because they were pressing him and trying to get him to join the Hoovers.
They end up telling Chipmonk, they told Chipmonk, they were like, get him, get him, Groove. I remember I was hearing him, like, get him, Groove, get him. So he fired on me. You know, he was little, he fired on me. Man, I must have turned around and kicked his ass. I kicked his ass. I grabbed his hair, I ain't gonna lie, I pulled his hair. He's that little long hair shit. I ain't gonna lie, I pulled his hair. We was out there squabbling. Then you know what I mean, they start jumping us and shit. My cousins start running shit. I start running too. We end up getting up out of there.
By 12 years old, Chipmonk had become prolific at stealing cars and would teach his other young friends in the Hoovers how to do the same. He was with the gunplay as well and loved his .38 revolver, robbing unsuspecting people in the neighborhood and having shootouts with the Hoovers' numerous rivals. In 1995, he would be featured on national TV after he was arrested on the television show LAPD Life on the Beat. Chipmonk and another young Hoover member were accused of going on a crime spree that day that included attempted murder, robbery, and jacking somebody for $25.
Hands on top of your head there, little man. Okay. Hands on top of your head there, little man. Okay. All right, you're just a little man, but you gotta do it.
Hey, what are you doing all of this for?
What do they call you, young man? What do they call you?
Chip.
Chip? What's this, dude? What's that? You been smoking the chronic?
No.
You got any tattoos, Chip?
Yep.
The officers know that each of the gangs has a characteristic tattoo.
Right there. Stand by. Mother?
What is all of this for?
We're just checking you out, man.
That ain't right.
No.
What ain't right?
Ain't wrong.
It's all good, man, all right?
Yeah.
How old are you, young man?
Well, dang. How many times have you asked me this?
You're gonna get yourself in trouble one of these days, aren't you? Huh?
Hey, Big. Stand by.
Mother? Do you know the young man that was with him?
They just left my
Okay. The little young ones, 12, 13 years old, they're trying to prove themselves, so they'll go out, they'll put in the work because they know nothing's going to happen to them.
He was arrested and locked up at the Los Padrones Juvenile Hall, and only 3 weeks after his release, he would meet a very tragic fate. On the night of August 26, 1995, he was chilling on the block with the Hoovers when a rival gang pulled up on him in a car with somebody holding a handgun in the front seat and somebody holding a rifle in the back seat and started firing multiple shots into the crowd. Chipmonk was hit multiple times and died on the scene. His death hit the Hoovers hard, and they vowed to get revenge for their fallen young homie.
I seen gangbangers die at 12 years old. My nigga Chipmonk made it 3rd Street Hoover. 12 years old, it fucked me up. But it didn't change me though, it made me more angry.
Word started going around that it was the UG Crips who were responsible, as well as the Rolling 90s. In the weeks following Chipmonk's death, there were shootings up and down Western Avenue, and retaliation shootings that took place on Hoover and Figueroa, causing multiple gang members to lose their lives in the shootings, as well as innocent bystanders. But unfortunately, tragedy would continue to hit the Decatur family because 2 of Chipmonk's sisters would also get caught up in the gang culture of LA, and they repped the 8 Trey Hoovers just as hard as their brother did. But choosing that way of life came with deadly consequences, because on the morning of July 29, 1998, Chipmonk's sisters Danielle Decatur and Felicia Decatur were chilling in a parked car with another member of the Hoovers named DeMar. They were sitting on 81st Street, but little did they know, their opposition had been riding through their neighborhood looking for DeMar. The 3 teens who were out on the hunt were in a stolen vehicle. Their names were Teray, Curtis, and Donald. They accidentally rolled past the car that had DeMar and Chipmonk's sisters inside, but once they realized who it was and got sight on them, they quickly spent the block ready to kill. They pulled up next to him with guns drawn and yelled out a derogatory term for Hoovers, calling them snoovers, before opening fire on the vehicle and killing Danielle Decatur in the process. Felicia sustained injuries to her arm from shattered glass, and DeMar made it out unharmed. The 3 shooters were members of the Playboy hustler Crips, rivals to the Hoovers. After killing Danielle, they returned to the apartment of Curtis's girlfriend, Shantae, but they didn't disclose to her what they had just done. Shantae would later learn about Danielle's death, and she confronted Curtis about his possible involvement, which he confessed to his girlfriend that him and his 2 homies were responsible. But he told her that they weren't trying to kill Danielle, and they were really aiming for DeMar. About 6 months later, the couple broke up, and Shantae made an anonymous call to the LAPD. She told them everything she knew about Danielle's death. Eventually, all 3 men would be arrested for first-degree murder. Curtis and Teray would both receive life sentences, but a jury was unable to convict Donald. And despite seeing her sister murdered right in front of her, Felicia would continue to rep the Hoovers, a decision that would ultimately lead her to spending time in prison down in Arizona. And after being incarcerated, she would soon learn a lesson that so many other people realize when it comes to the gang life, that no matter how much love you receive when you're on the streets, and no matter how much it seems like a family, when you get locked up, for a lot of people it's out of sight, out of mind. She would post on social media about how she had no love or support being locked up, and saying that if people could donate anything, it would help. She dreamed about getting back home so she could be with her kids, but sadly in 2015, she would pass away due to complications of leukemia at only 31 years old. Unfortunately, Chipmonk's story isn't rare. It's a common occurrence in poverty-stricken inner-city neighborhoods throughout America, and the majority of those stories have one common theme: no father in their lives and a lack of guidance. And even one of the most ruthless and deadly individuals in LA gang history would speak on this epidemic. The infamous Monster Cody of the 8 Trey Gangster Crips did an interview where he was asked about how not having a dad growing up affected him. He stated that he believed things would have been different for him and he would have chose a more positive path in life, and just the thought of what could have been in his life brought him to tears.
And my mother couldn't protect me from that. Ray couldn't come get me all the time, and Dick never came. But you know what I mean. So,
do you resent that?
To a great extent, no doubt about it. I hate him. You know what I mean? I hate him because I think about what I could have been, you know, and I can't dig that, man. Running out on your kids, you know. Father thing, man. But that's just heavy to me now, you know. That's just heavy.
Would it have made a difference, do you think?
Yeah, because I wouldn't have to go to the street to find the street people, you know, to find, you know.
Despite the Decatur's family tragic history with the Hoovers, it hasn't stopped their affiliations, and it's said that Chipmonk has a niece who's one of the top frontline members, although the majority of the Hoover sets no longer claim Crip, due to the fact that they were constantly at odds with other Crip sets, so they decided to start their own entity. Due to the fact that they were constantly beefing with other Crip sets, so they started going by the name the Hoover Criminals, mostly doing away with their blue colors and wearing orange to signify who they are, along with their infamous Houston Astros hat with the H on it representing Hoover.
So we consider ourselves Crips when all we do is kill ourselves Crips when all we do is kill Crips. That's why we turned criminals. That's why we turned criminals and started wearing orange. Whatever happens when I walk off this house, I know my enemy could be it could be coming to get me, but I wouldn't give a fuck because I got my heat. So if anything happened, I'm gonna shoot this nigga.
And just like they did with Chipmonk back in the 90s, the tactic of recruiting young kids still persists to this very day, with members as young as 9 years old, because it's a lot less likely that they would receive serious time, even if they're committing violent acts like robbery and murder. When Chipmonk was accepted by the streets, he felt like he found a family, a place to belong. But unfortunately, this decision came with very tragic consequences, and he never got the opportunity to become a man and quite possibly change his mindset for the better and become a more positive individual. And Eric Decatur, he was only 12 years old when he died. Rest in peace, little homie.